Well, I've made a few changes. Haven't worked very much on the upper part of the painting, but I've tidied up some rocks, and the water is taking shape, putting some reflections in, indicating the directions of the waves. I've also gotten this rock mass in the foreground a bit organized. I'm happy with how that's coming out for the most part. Again, no specific area is completely finished, but it's coming. It's got a ways to go, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. Once again, I'll bring you in a little closer here and show you some of the texture. I want to do that because with the knife, some areas are just kind of laid on thinly and other areas are pretty thick. And if you can see that, it might help you sort of understand how the paint goes on. Anyway, I think good so far. I'm a little concerned about the character of that rock, but that's fine. We can revisit that later. So you can see there's a fair variety of color in the water itself. Even though when you back up, you don't see those subtleties so much, I think it's pretty important to include them in your painting. Or in my painting in this case, I guess. A bit of highlighting there. Bit of a top of a ripple or two. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe what I'll do as well is take this opportunity to show you my palette here. It's go from left to right. You can see my cleaning rag of choice comes in a roll. No, that's not paper towel. I'll just move that a second here. And I drill a couple of holes in my palette, which is actually affixed to my studio easel. When I'm using brushes to paint, I like to, because the brushes will be dirty, I don't like to lay them down. I like to just drop them in these holes, and that way I don't contaminate them with dust or dirt, or contaminate anything else with paint. So that's my little pile of titanium white. That is a Winsor & Newton. That's cadmium yellow pale, also Winsor & Newton. That is cadmium yellow medium. Come on, focus. Which is an old tube of Talon's paint that I had. That's yellow ochre, also Winsor & Newton. We go to burnt sienna. Whoops. Alizarin crimson. Cadmium red medium. Quinacridone magenta. That I use that very sparingly, but it certainly can add a nice intense touch when I use it generally towards the final stages of my painting. That is cobalt blue. Sometimes I use phthalo blue. One of those two little dark blue spots is that. And that is ultramarine blue. That is raw umber. And a couple of my painting knives. And a couple of tuna tins. The upper one is linseed oil. The lower one is turpentine. Neither of which I use, of course, when I'm using a painting. I do not thin off my paints when I'm using a knife. I think I just said using my painting. Anyway, when I use a knife, I don't use those two mediums. They're strictly for thinning and for cleaning my brushes when I use a brush. And a little chunk, a little nub of burnt willow charcoal. There's no binder in it. It's just simply, honest to goodness, plain old charcoal. So there's my messy palette, the workstation of a painter who paints daily. And that's pretty much it. I know you see that little spot of green there, but from time to time I'll try different paints. I also have a lot of older leftover paints from years gone by that I've just tried, and yeah, if I don't like them, I don't use them, but I'll always try something. So I'm just gonna have a seat again here. Back off a little bit and give you sort of the final overview of what's ready so far. It's a bit of progress, not much, but it's coming. So far I'm a happy guy. Okay, thanks, bye.